The city of Robbinsdale has seen tremendous growth in the last couple of years, with 3 new apartment buildings coming online. Now, the city wants to have a discussion on its housing future. The new apartments are a significant change. Robbinsdale Mayor Bill Blonigan points out they are the first new apartments in the city in roughly 50 years. But there's also a concern about having too many rental units. According to an estimate from the Robbinsdale city planner, close to 49% of its housing is rental. That includes single-family rentals and the city's 300 or so duplexes. In the last couple years, the city has also added nearly 500 apartment units. And the possibility of more apartments could be on the horizon if the light rail project goes through.
I just want to maybe have some kind of a conversation about how many additional apartment developments do we want, and what do we want them to look at and look like, and what just what do we want the future of the city to look like.
Backen says the city has done its job when it comes to affordable housing and points to other suburbs, including Maple Grove, that need to, quote, step up their game. The city council plans to hold a work session on housing in the near future. Brooklyn Center has hired a manager to lead efforts in implementing police reform initiatives the city council approved. David Zaffron introduced himself at this week's city council meeting. He will lead an implementation committee to install a new mental health unit and a civilian traffic enforcement response unit for non-moving violations. The reform is partially funded by freezing 3 vacant police officer positions. The city set aside $80,000 in this year's budget for the implementation committee manager position. Zaffron previously served as a senior policy aide to former Minneapolis City Council member Steve Fletcher. Fletcher led efforts to reform Minneapolis policing before he was voted out of office last November. The state of Minnesota received more than $8 billion in federal funds through the American Rescue Plan Act. Of that, more than $600 million went to the 21 largest cities in the state, including Brooklyn Park, Maple Grove, and Plymouth. CCX reporter Jason Molillo takes a look at how those funds will be used.
Brooklyn Park will receive a total of $11.5 million through the American Rescue Plan. The City Council is working closely with community groups to decide how best to allocate the money.
Some of the funds are being directed towards violence intervention and violence interruption activities. And so we're seeing that happen now already, some contracts with community groups that are out in the community interrupting some of the most violent activities that are happening. And then the other portion of the funds, we really are thinking about the future and about how we can invest in people getting back to work, getting better jobs, and growing the wealth of our community.
Community groups can still apply for funds on Brooklyn Park's website through February 4th.
There's a lot of needs in the community, as there is everywhere with the impacts of the pandemic. And so these funds are really great to have an opportunity to be strategic in investing in the areas of need in the community.
Maple Grove received $5.1 million through ARPA and will use a big chunk of that to recoup lost revenue from 2020.
In particular, Park and Rec and other programming revenue declines, which we obviously saw a significant amount of change in those numbers from 2020.
The city is also allocating about $1.75 million of federal funds for local businesses and nonprofits.
This includes the hospital, Cross, some of our smaller nonprofits, and some grant recovery programs for our small businesses in Maple Grove.
Jason Molillo, CCX News.
Plymouth is receiving just over $7 million. The city hasn't decided yet on how those funds will be allocated. People in the northwest suburbs have a new fitness option in Maple Grove.
Love it. Club's super clean, it's wide open. People here are very friendly, very helpful. It's been great.
That was one of the satisfied customers of Crunch Fitness, which officially opened in the Grove Shopping Center. The 30,000 square foot building features a wide variety of cardio equipment, free weights, and machines. This is the second Minnesota location for the national fitness chain, which is excited to expand its Twin Cities footprint.
Maple Grove has been great to us. The members have been even better. They've showed up and turned out to make this what it is today.
Basic membership at Crunch Fitness begins at $9.99 a month or $29.99 a month for more access to the club's amenities, such as the daycare center and the cycling studio. You may be thinking of venturing outside this weekend for some recreation. Well, Neil Persley has a suggestion in today's Weekend Showcase.
Most of us are familiar with what a pub is, and most of us know what curling is. But what is this hybrid that you can find at Brookview in Golden Valley?
So pub curling is kind of a cross between curling and shuffleboard. So we're playing on artificial ice and we're using artificial stones.
It's cold now, but playing on an artificial surface means Brookview can offer pub curling well into the spring before lawn bowling would normally get started.
These are kind of a poly type material, plastic type material, with a bearing on it that just kind of slides and glides down the rink.
Like lawn bowling, the game is played in teams. Each team gets 4 stones to slide down the rink.
Object of the game is to get all 4 of your team's stones as close to that center button as you can.
It's harder than it looks.
Of course, I got to be bulldog red.
Scoring, basically you get 1 point for every stone you have closest to that center button. So only one team scores. If you've got 1 stone closer than your opponents, you only get 1 point. If you've got 3 stones closer than any of your opponents, you get 3 points.
The fall leagues have ended and winter leagues have just filled up. But if you want to come out with a friend or a group, walk-ups are welcome. For Weekend Showcase from Brookview in Golden Valley, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The Maple Grove boys hockey team is putting together another good season. The Crimson look to stay close to the top of their conference with a win at home Thursday night.
The Crimson looking for their 9th win of the season as they host Elk River in Northwest Suburban Conference play. Late first period, a clean face-off win for Jack Kernan results in a quick shot and goal for Nathan Jaglow. It's 1-0 Crimson after 1 period on Jaglow's 7th goal of the year. Second period, Jaglow with a breakout pass to Bennett Glad, who passes to Kernan. Back to Glad for the shot and goal. Great passing by the Crimson, and they are up 2-0. The Elks get one back on the power play. Carter Davis to Jackson Skyberg, who scores. ERC is back to within 1 at 2-1. But just 40 seconds later, the Crimson answer. Lucas Margaret the shot, and then Finn Brink there to knock home the rebound. It's 3-1 Maple Grove. No scoring the rest of the way, and that's the final. Crimson will play at Rogers Saturday afternoon.
In the IMAC Conference, 2 boys hockey teams hoping to wear the crown of conference champion later this winter faced off Thursday night. Jason Malillo has the highlights.
Providence hosting rival Blake in boys hockey. Lions turn the puck over deep in their end. Nate Heithoff slams it home for a 2-0 Bears lead in the first period. Early second, Blake's Jake Svendal picks the top corner and it's 3-rip. Providence cashes in on the power play. Jack Reller's shot gets through and the Lions have life. But another Providence giveaway and Svendal snipes another goal for Blake. The Bears maul the Lions. 6-1 is the final. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports. Benilde-St. Margaret's and Blake facing off in a matchup of girls hockey teams who could meet again in Section 6 AA play. Late first period, a couple of shots on net for the Red Knights. Emma Hone then scores on the rebound. It's a 1-0 game after 1. First minute of the second period, Emma Peschel passes to Hone, who shoots. Mary Zavarol there to clean up on the juicy rebound. It's 2-0 BSM. Still in the second, a nice rush with the puck by the Bears. Annie Fagley, who uses the defender as a screen, and she shoots and scores. Blake is within a goal. It's 2-1 after 2. Third period, Lily Mortenson's shot gets deflected. The puck floats past the Bears goalie and in. It's Mortenson's 6th goal of the season. Benilde is up 3-1. And the Red Knights add one more goal. Hone with a nice shot from the circle that finds the back of the net. Her second of the game caps the scoring as Benilde-St. Margaret's beats Blake 4-1.
Now to girls basketball. Totino-Grace is ranked number 5 in Class 3A, but they found the going tough against a good 4A team, Rogers. Jay Wilcox has more.
Rogers visiting Totino-Grace in girls basketball. Rogers starts strong. Clara Glad to Caitlin Mache to Emily Glass for 3, and the Royals go up 17-7. Glad takes it herself this time, driving for a layup and 24-8 lead on her way to a 12-point night. Ellie Bazell threads the needle here to Glass for the layup. Glass scores 17, it's 40-20. Bazell swings the pass across to Glass for 3 more. It's 57-33 Rogers at the half. Second half, and Glad throws ahead to Machi for the layup and 2 of her 19 points, and it's all Royals. They play some D, too. Check out the block by Bazell as she swats it away to deny Grace a scoring chance. Everything going right for Rogers. Off the missed free throw, Megan Heinen gets it to Bazell for 3 of her 17 points. Rogers crushes Totino-Grace 87-65. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.